My hands are small, I know, but they're not yours. They are my home. Why'd she sound Irish when she was singing that?
Wasn't she?
She grew up in Alaska.
So long.
Should have been like, but they're not yours. They are my own. Well, I guess it did sound like that.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew. That's Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Twitter and Instagram at namely90s with a 90s. We also release a video version of this podcast every week on Monday. You can find that on YouTube. That's namely90s.com/YouTube. This is our May 1993 episode, and I suppose marks the conclusion of our first year of podcasting, or at least this podcast. We're very excited about.
Yeah. We've done it. This is a year, or this will be a year once we finish this episode. Which means next week you'll be getting a special 1-year anniversary extravaganza episode, which we've very much had a fun putting together. And at the time of the recording, it's not been put together, and I almost said 2 again. B, don't know how it's turned out. Either way, we hope you enjoy it, and you can come back the following week to May 1994. No, I think we started with 94.
It's all a blur.
We'll have to check that, but we'll be back to normal recordings the week after next if you don't want to celebrate with us for some reason. And if you are going to celebrate with us, say something if you haven't already. Hopefully we got your pre-recorded messages, but if you haven't, send us a tweet and say, good job. Either way, how are you feeling? It's been 50 episodes plus 13 specials at this point. Plus, yeah, that's correct. That is the correct number of episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've covered a lot. I've known nothing. You've known most about everything.
That's our dynamic, I guess, now.
I feel like there's been some really good moments, and I'm excited to revisit those at some point. Who knows? We'll see. But I think we've had a lot of fun. We've had some great guests. We've built a small but consistent listener base that we hope to build on further and continue interacting with them. I think the idea of digging into some other topics sounds like a lot of fun. So just had to find time to actually do research, which may or may not ever happen.
Special focus episodes, rewatches.
But no, I think it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. I can't believe we actually sustained it for a year as regularly as we have, because I mean, we have really done weekly episodes. A lot of times podcasts fizzle out pretty quick. So I like it. I'm happy with it.
Nice.
How about you?
I am impressed that we've made it this far. As well, I'll bring this up again next week, but yeah, it's been a fun way to spend quarantine for sure, and it's a nice way to sit down with a lifelong friend and reminisce about old times that apparently you didn't live, and somehow I did.
I don't know what I was doing in my childhood. I was like playing outside most of the time, or
yeah, but you would have been playing with like me or like other kids in our neighborhood. So I feel like I also would have been outside unless my mom was making me do.
So I spent my time either outside playing, or when I got a little older, inside on the computer. So I didn't do a lot of movies, you know.
Always TV on in the background. I guess that's why I have it on in the background now.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, good.
Well, I'm looking forward to another year or more. I think it'll be fun. I think we've got a good, strong base now. And if we can kind of expand into more areas and improve ourselves, we can get more listeners and have more fun with it. So
I absolutely love
pumped.
the fact that we've picked up the listener base that we have so far in over the year. And it's exciting to have them and see where we go from here. So speaking of going from here, should we go back to May of 1993?
Sure, let's do it.
All right. On the 3rd, South Africa agrees to multiracial elections. 1993.
South Africa.
Yes, but yes, they just ended apartheid. I realize this, but 1993.
I thought that's when the U.S. legalized those. No. Oh, sorry. Oh, wrong one. Okay.
On the 6th, Naomi Scott is born. She's best known to me for the 2017 Power Rangers movie. And Jasmine, I think she was Jasmine in the live action Aladdin. Or maybe, yeah. Was she Jasmine? I didn't watch it. On the 10th, Halston Sage, Lieutenant Alara from the TV series The Orville, is born. On the 13th, Debbie Ryan, Disney Channel star of Jessie, who also starred on The Sweet Life on Deck, is born. And on the 14th, Miranda Cosgrove, star of iCarly, which is getting a reboot on Paramount Plus. She was the star of Drake and Josh, or she was a not guest star, supporting character in Drake and Josh. And I think she's the oldest girl in Despicable Me. She is born as well. And I didn't realize that all 4 of these actresses are A, the same age, and B, like they're all born within like a week of each other. And one was a Disney Channel star. One was a Nickelodeon Channel star. One is now in Disney movies. And then the other one dated Seth MacFarlane.
Who, Judd Nelson? No, just kidding.
No, Halston. Yeah, Halston Sage, I believe, was dating Seth MacFarlane, which is a terrible idea because they starred on The Orville together, and then she suddenly left after season 2 for some reason, or season 1.
I'd like to point out that Halston's not a name, by the way.
True. It might end up being some old Nordic name that we don't even know about. This is where you normally hear Andrew's clickety clacks going on, but he doesn't want to be proved wrong. On the 16th,
her friends call her Hal.
Seth calls her Hal. On the 16th, Judd Nelson, star of The Breakfast Club and St. Elmo's Fire, pleads no contest to kicking a woman in the head. I shouldn't sound so happy about that. Do you need any context for that?
Who hasn't kicked someone in the head? I mean, come on.
Apparently,
why did you do that?
So he was at some restaurant and eating on like a veranda or a balcony or something, and then across the way was another restaurant with an outdoor patio area. So I think he was with Shannon Doherty. At the time, they were eating together, and some woman and her friend across on the other patio, the woman started heckling him and was saying Judd Nelson hasn't been in a good movie since The Breakfast Club, and then
not wrong.
He was climbing over to have words with her and kicked her friend in the face on accident.
Whoops, I laughed. I didn't mean to.
Right. Well, it's a strange situation.
Okay, listen, I don't approve of people being kicked in the head, but also if someone's just in a restaurant trying to eat, maybe you don't heckle them. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah. And then don't do it. So then your friend then gets kicked in the head on accident.
I know.
Accident. I'm doing air quotes for those of you listening to this on a podcast. On the 19th, the gang graduates from West Beverly on Beverly Hills 90210 season 3 finale.
Meanwhile, the garbage truck is just still flying on through those residential surface streets. Nowhere near the transfer station, phasing through vehicles of all kinds.
Garbage truck was amazing. On the 26th, Carlos Martinez hits a home run by bouncing off of Jose Canseco's head. Right. So, not more head injury. 93 May head injuries. On the 31st, the dog.
Did he have... Oh, I was going to make a joke. I was like,
go for it.
Did he have ground rule double vision? It's like a before and after. Because I feel like it should be a ground rule double. Anyway.
I was doing my deadpan thing. On the 31st, the dog, Honey Tree Evil Eye, who played the advertisement dog Spuds McKenzie, who first showed up in a Bud Light Super Bowl commercial, he died. So good way to round out 93.
Oh.
Yeah. I threw that in there for you. Not the death thing,
Thanks.
but the dog. Yeah.
All those dog breeder types always have like 7 or 8 names for the dog. They would just name them like Buddy or Spot. They're like, they always have some like 2 or 3 word ridiculous name that's just completely asinine. Ugh.
What accent did you just go into there? Buddy or Spot?
Buddy or Spud. It's asinine, I'm telling you. I have no idea.
TV premiering and ending this month, mostly ending because it's now May. On the 5th, Quantum Leap ends. On the 12th, The Wonder Years ends. On the 13th, I honestly don't know where that comes from. I loved The Wonder Years.
It's the stupid voiceover. I hate the voiceover. Ugh.
I don't remember who the voiceover was in that. On the 13th, Knots Landing ends. On the 19th, Cheers ends. And on the 22nd, Saved by the Bell, their cast graduates to the college years as well, which was followed by the pilot of Saved by the Bell, The College Years, to tease the series coming in the fall.
The origin of one of my favorite jokes, which is to just add the college years to like any show to be annoying.
It works. The OC, The College Years. Beverly Hills 90210, The College Years.
The Golden Girls, The College Years. Okay, there's our reboot.
Yes.
Pre-boot.
Well, so they did do that with Sex and the City. They did the Carrie Diaries, which was on the CW, I think. So it couldn't be as racy as it was on HBO. In the box office, on the 7th, My Neighbor Totoro gets its U.S. release.
Oh.
On the 21st, Hot Shots Part 2. On the 26th, Menace to Society. On the 28th, we have Cliffhanger, which is Sly Stallone. I think he won an award for that. And on the 28th as well, the Super Mario Brothers movie, which eclipses Cliffhanger in every single way. Except in quality. On the Billboard charts, on the second, possibly in quality, on the second week for May 1993. Let's just talk about number 1 for the first 2 weeks is Freak Me by Silk. And for the rest of the month and into June and July, That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson is at number 1. For the rest of the second week of May 1993, at number 6, we have Nuttin' But a G Thang by Dr. Dre. Number 11 is Two Princes by the Spin Doctors. Number 14 is Hip Hop Hooray by Naughty by Nature. Number 18 is It Was Good. Wow, I typed that wrong. It Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. And number 20, If I Ever Lose My Faith in You by Sting.
And now, a reading from the Book of Jewel. The Chase. And now it begins, you will see. Once you are gone, my game gets stronger. In love with the pursuit, I will seduce you with ink, blot out the night, and invent new stars. I will sew you to my side, nevermore shall you roam without the outline of my chase branded on your heart. I don't even know anymore. It's getting toward the end of the book. I feel like she's getting more and more esoteric.
I thought that was actually good until like the last 2 lines. Like the the squid analogy or octopus analogy. I don't know what it is, but the imagery was nice.
Was it like about the tentacles? What's the thing?
Oh, jeez. Thanks,
Yeah.
Joel.
Yep. Appreciate it.
And now back to the show.
Did we already have that conversation about whether
Why you
Dr.
hate the Wonder
Dre
Years? Is an
truly
actual
has the
doctor.
credentials? Because like he could be a doctor, you know, he could have a PhD, he could be a chiropractor, but isn't it illegal to use doctor in your name if you aren't one?
If you're
Not illegal.
a performing artist, I don't
Frowned
think so.
upon? Okay. He's a naturopathic physician.
I mean, I don't go around calling people homeopaths, but some other people do. No, it's possible he has like some sort of liberal arts doctorate.
Dr. Dre, the college years.
That's his next album.
Why are all of these shows so good sounding?
Well, I thought we should talk My Neighbor Totoro first because your wife would kill you if you don't.
That movie has no personal significance to me.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. 1990. I didn't know it was that old.
It's older. It came out in 1987 in Japan.
Timeless Japanese animation.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli. I think that was one of their first that I can think of.
Just so you know, there's some dudes unloading like a landscaping trailer outside the studios here at Namely 90s. So if you hear a bunch of clattering noises, that's what that is.
I don't hear anything.
They're moving a large sheet of OSB right now, which is like that chipboard.
For like, I was thinking like a circuit board.
It's like what you might put up under the siding on the side of a house, something like
Are
that.
you just torturing your wife here, or is that
No. Anyway, so My Neighbor Totoro.
Sorry, 88. It came out in 88.
I believe that the significance, just to share with everyone, the significance of that is that when myself and our friend Jacob were visiting Brandon in his locale, we went on some kind of hike or trail or something.
We went to the Cal Poly Architecture Graveyard.
Right. And in there was like this little stuffed Totoro thing dangling from, it was like a fence post or like a branch or something.
I think it was a bridge. No, it was a branch. You're right.
And I took a picture of it because we took a bunch of pictures because I was like some dorky kid with a camera around my neck and like knee-high socks damn near with my shorts.
Wait, we didn't have camera phones back then?
No, I carried a camera back then. It was so ridiculous. And I took a picture of this thing and later posted my album on Facebook. And then she and I had this like extremely extended conversation in the comments.
She being your wife.
Yes, my wife.
Not at the time.
About this Totoro,
not at the time.
which sparked our conversing and then their eventual marriage and whatnot. So My Neighbor Totoro, it's real. It's very
also just never
deeply
seen
personal. What?
Have you
No,
not
I've seen it. Oh, we've seen it.
Oh,
Yeah, we have
wow.
that. She made me watch it. We have it. We own it, I think.
That's impressive.
So that just goes to show you, dressing like a dork and taking pictures of stuff in California in like 2007 could lead to you getting married.
Oh, I should dig up the photos because I have some photos of you dressed as a dork with a camera.
Oh, yeah. They're all on my Facebook. You can pull those right up and watch me be a dork.
All right. If you're interested in that, check out the YouTube edition of this episode. But for those of you that don't know, My Neighbor Totoro is a 1988 Japanese animated fantasy film written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki and animated by Studio Ghibli. It tells the story of a professor's two young daughters and their interaction with a friendly wood spirit in post-war rural Japan. I don't know if I've ever actually watched it all the way through. I think about it.
I can't remember the whole premise, but I remember like, isn't their mom sick and in the hospital for a lot of it?
That describes probably every single one of those movies.
Okay.
But let me see. Yes, probably. The hospital where the girl's mother is, they moved to an old house to be closer to there. Yes.
Yes, and they find the thing. It's like by the bus stop, and it's got doesn't have the umbrella or whatever, or something with an umbrella.
I believe they're missing. Aren't they missing the umbrella? And then the Totoro thing holds up an umbrella. I've never actually seen this movie. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've seen
those things are kind of creepy, but they're kind of cute too. We have some of the plushies at home.
I remember we used to go to Owajimaya, which is a Asian grocery store in Seattle, the Seattle area, and they would have a Kinokuniya bookstore, which I would go into to look for like Pokemon and stuff. But before I knew what Pokemon was, they would still have just like all the like Studio Ghibli stuff sitting out, and I remember seeing the poster for Totoro and just being both intrigued and terrified by it at my young age back then. Because
I can see that. Sorry,
it is a frightening, eerie poster to look at.
A bit. I'm surprised you haven't seen that.
I'm surprised too, because I've seen Howl's Moving Castle. I've seen Princess Mononoke. Princess Mononoke. That one's pretty bloody. Spirited Away, I think I saw that was the peak Studio Ghibli, I think, for American audiences, and then Poyo was the last one that I can think of. I don't know. I need to brush up on it. I'm surprised as well, but what I did see in possibly in theaters was the Super Mario Brothers movie. Did you see this in theaters? Please say you saw this.
No, but I remember it. It was like a bad live action.
Oh, so bad. Like bad.
I had John Leguizamo in it. Oh
yep,
my gosh.
He was Luigi.
I'm looking at stills. This is horrible.
Well, if you could find the stills of like the Koopas and Bowser.
Oh, what is this guy?
Probably
the
Bowser.
Small reptile head. That's
definitely either Bowser or one of the Koopas. So yes, you can. You're beginning to understand.
This is frightening.
The Super Mario Brothers movie, also known as Super Mario Brothers the movie, is a 1993 adventure comedy film loosely based on the Mario video game series by Nintendo. It stars Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo in there as Mario and Luigi, respectively, and they're named the Mario Brothers. I'm going to get back to that in a second. In their quest to rescue Princess Daisy from a dystopic parallel universe ruled by the ruthless President Koopa, played by Dennis Hopper. Yeah,
that's what it was.
It was a critical and financial failure. Grossed $38.9 million worldwide against a budget of $42 to $48 million. I'm pretty sure it does have a decent score on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, not a great score, but a score.
It had Fisher Stevens in it, who was also a supporting character in one of my favorite CBS shows from the 90s, Early Edition.
Oh, huh. Had none of those correct. 24% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 41 reviews, with an average rating of 4 out of 10. But yeah, so I mentioned Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo play the Mario Brothers. John Leguizamo plays Luigi Mario, and Bob Hoskins plays Mario, the Mario Brothers.
No, please stop.
Yes, that is exactly. Yeah. It was. Mario. I just saw this. Mario creator Shigeru Miyamoto felt the film tried too hard to replicate the games instead of being a good film. I don't think they tried to replicate the games either. Like, other than going through a wolf pipe.
It reminds me of that. I feel like whenever I see this, I want to like post that meme of Ian Malcolm in Jurassic Park saying the scientists were so preoccupied with whether they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Exactly.
Replace that with producers or screenwriters or whatever.
So I'm pretty sure, from what I understand, this is what has caused Nintendo to no longer license their rights for like their characters to any US based like film or TV series, because at the time they had like the Super Mario Brothers show with that like the animated cartoon. There was in the 80s, I want to say there was a Legend of Zelda cartoon that's where everyone gets the "excuse me, princess" meme from. And yeah, they've not done that since.
That's right. I consider myself a meme aficionado, and I've not seen that one.
Oh, I'll send it to you. But it's "excuse me, princess." You must have seen that at some point.
I'll just look it up. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that link is terrifying. As of 2018, there's an animated Mario reboot film in development at Universal. Slated for a 2020 release or 2022 release,
featuring Mario and Luigi Mario.
Wouldn't that be amazing if they just animated Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo?
It's like one of those Jib Jab videos, just got their faces on the characters. Remember Jib Jab? There's still a bunch of old people who post that crap like every Easter,
Christmas.
Like, look, it's my Jib Jab Easter thing, or or Christmas or whatever. Like, you're in your 60s,
all elves.
late 60s. I know. I just said old people in the 60s. Now my parents are gonna be mad at me, but
I know, right? Yeah. As we get older, you can't just start.
They're like, email a link to this Jib Jab to your friends using your Juno email account. Hey, friends and family.
Meanwhile, it's like it's asked for permission from their Facebook page, their Instagram page, any like Twitter. They won't have Twitter at that age, but it's just stealing all of their data.
Yeah, well, there's like these things on Facebook where they're like, your porn star name is the street you were born on, and like your pet's first name or your first pet's name. And then people are like, these are literally just all of your security questions. The Russians are stealing your security questions so they can vote in the election. People,
I never
open
thought
your
about
eyes.
that. I never thought about that. Oh, that's
well,
amazing.
and then it's like, there's these ones that are like, I bet you can't come up with a dog's name without an A in it. And all those are is just to like farm traffic and like get more views and stuff. It's really stupid.
Yeah, but it farms traffic pretty well. My favorite to do on our Twitter, if you follow us on Twitter at namely90s with the 90s, I occasionally will do a screen grab from something that we talked about in an episode, and then I'll have you say wrong answers only.
Oh yeah, wrong answers only. That's a good one.
That's my favorite.
Well, I like that one because it's funny. Like just saying, I bet you can't do this very easy task. And then people are like, yeah, I can. And then
I bet you can't get the right answer to this weirdly phrased riddle that's also a math problem, so that it's going to screw
it's always
you
the
up.
math problems, like the order of operations one.
But then they don't do orders of operations correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. Please, you'll have to excuse my dear Aunt Sally. I'm just saying. You'll have to excuse her.
What is that? Planets?
And once again,
that's the Animal Kingdom.
PEMDAS. What? That's that.
Please
that's
excuse
mnemonic.
my dear Aunt Sally. That's the mnemonic for Animal Kingdom, or the order filing.
Order of operations.
Oh, is that order of operations?
P is parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. PEMDAS. We've got that. We've got the Pythagorean theorem. Still have no idea how to do my taxes or balance a checkbook, but whatever. Yeah. It's fine.
Well, they cut home econ the year that we went to high school.
All that geometry came in handy this parallelogram season. That's from a meme somewhere.
That's pretty good. So we've skirted around this topic for a while, but we've never actually directly talked about it. And I feel like on the episode where it ends, we should probably at least talk about Cheers just a tiny bit. Because we talked about Frasier, we've talked about Wings, which is somehow adjacent to Cheers. That was actually recently.
Well, we never talked about The Origin, which actually is a spin-off of something else, right?
Cheers is a spin-off as well? I didn't know that.
Isn't it?
No, I thought Cheers was the original.
I could be wrong. You continue. I'll look that up.
So Cheers is an American sitcom television series that ran on NBC from 1982 to 1993. And it was set in a bar named Cheers in Boston, Massachusetts, where a group of locals met to drink, relax, and socialize. You may know the main theme song, Where Everyone Knows Your Name, or Where Everybody Knows Your Name, excuse me. And,
I know that one.
At the center of the show was the bar's owner and head bartender, Sam Malone, played by Ted Danson, a womanizing former relief pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. And it was an ensemble cast. There was Carla, played by Rhea Perlman, Diane, played by Shelley Long, who would be Sam's love interest for the first several seasons. Coach, played by Nicholas Colasanto, for 3 seasons. Woody, played by Woody Harrelson, for the rest of the series. And regular bar patrons, including Fraser Crane, played by Kelsey Grammer, Cliff Clavin, played by John Ratzenberger, and Norm Peterson, played by George Wendt. Later characters include Rebecca Howe, who replaced Diane. Diane played Rebecca, played by Kirstie Alley, and she becomes a love interest for Sam later. And then Lilith Crane, played by BB Newworth, was Fraser's first wife in the series. Wow. Yeah, that just brings it all back. So personal story with Cheers. Like I remember watching the reruns when it was on TV, or early 90s, late whatever, Frasier was on too. But just watching Cheers, it was like I would only catch the later era episodes. So when someone told me like about Diane, the character of Diane, played by Shelley Long, I'm like, what? No, Sam's love interest is Rebecca, played by Kirstie Alley. What are you talking about? And there's just like this whole other half of the show that I had never seen up to that point. And
it was not a long time. 11 seasons, 275 episodes.
Yep. There's the classic Family Guy joke. No, don't remember that one.
Which one?
Something about it was the Kirstie Alley ate Shelley Long on.
Oh yeah, I didn't get it. I just thought people like to make fun of Kirstie Alley.
Well, it was a fat shaming joke for Kirstie Alley. But,
oh dear.
But it's like I think it was like when Kirstie Alley ate Shelley Long on Cheers, and then but it meant to be a replacement. I think that was a Family Guy joke. Sounds like a Family Guy joke. Me. Yeah. But, it starred Ted Danson. Ted Danson's awesome. Like, he's been on our TVs since 1982, probably.
My wife really liked him in CSI.
Great in CSI. I really liked The Good Place. I think we talked about Ted Danson at some point. The Good Place. We talked about Becker. That's what it was. We talked about Becker at one point. Which he was also on and starred in.
Becca. Yeah, true.
Do you have any memories of Cheers?
I don't think I've ever seen Cheers.
At all? You've never seen a single episode of Cheers?
No.
Woody Harrelson's in it.
It was on until what?
93.
93?
But it was on syndication like all the time.
What channels?
Well, I assume TBS. Most likely UPN, since that's what Frasier was on syndication on. I
really don't.
Nick at Night,
think I saw. Plus, as a kid, why am I watching a bunch of people hang out in a bar?
See, that's a question for my parents. So it was a good show. It was like, the ham from Toy Story was in
John
it.
Ratzenberger?
Exactly. Wasn't George Wendt also a character?
Ted Danson, George Wendt. I don't know who that is. Kelsey Grammer, Woody Harrelson.
Norm.
Who's that?
It's Norm. Sorry, what?
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I've seen him a couple times, but...
Well, he's probably best known for Cheers.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. He's a supporting actor,
I'm
but
sorry, I don't have much to say. I know it's like a big thing, but hey, well, he's the uncle of actor and former SNL writer cast member Jason Sudeikis, his sister's son. Weird.
oh, I think I knew that at one point. He does kind of, if you look at him, he does kind of look like Jason
Yeah,
Sudeikis.
I can see something there. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
God, Wikipedia is so amazing.
Have you ever just done that game where you try to find something by going down different roads?
You can do it in it's like 6 clicks or something. Like you can get to World War II Germany or Nazi Germany or whatever just by clicking 6 different things.
He was on 2 episodes of Family Guy as himself, or as Norm from Family Guy. That was a running gag. It would be like he would walk in and everyone would be like, Norm! And then Domino's weirdly tried to do that in a commercial recently. I think it was a Super Bowl commercial, and they're like, with the online ordering and saying you're ready for pickup, and then he walked in and they're like, Norm, and he was like,
Norm.
Okay. I don't know. I just remember that commercial being terribly stupid, but
And he's just like, okay. That's funny.
Well, yeah. And then they played the Cheers theme song, which must have cost them a lot of money. Speaking of Domino's, did you hear they're bringing the Noid back again? Not to derail us right at the end.
I only know the Noid from the Family Guy reference to the Noid, which didn't make any sense to me at the time.
Because you had no idea what the Domino's Noid was.
No, exactly. What's the Noid?
So it's an 80s advertisement for Domino's, and just Google the Noid right now so I don't have to explain it. He has like bunny ears. He's in like a red onesie, and he's like super angry trying to steal people's pizzas. There was even an entire
why?
There was even an entire NES game called Yo Noid, which was on our Player's Choice 10 cabinet machine. But why? I don't know. He's crazy.
Okay, here. The Noid is an advertising character for Domino's Pizza created in the 1980s. Clad in a red, skin-tight, rabbit-eared bodysuit with a black N inscribed in a white circle on his chest, the Noid was a physical manifestation of all the challenges inherent in getting a pizza delivered in 30 minutes or less. And then in here it says, occupation, ruining pizza.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, they're bringing them back again, I guess.
Oh, and then Spuds McKenzie comes up as a related thing.
Oh, nice.
Oh, he's a border terrier. Creepy.
R.I.P. Spuds. Well, I think we did it.
1 year in the
1
books.
year. Yeah, isn't that awesome? That's 1 year. We did it. That's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Twitter and Instagram at Namely 90s with a 90s, or find our personal accounts at bshwitty and at Namely Andrew on Twitter, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. You can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, King Kuba, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and wherever you get your podcasts at. I'm Brandon, that's Andrew, and we will catch you next time.
Are you feeling Claritin Clear right now?